A number of the country's indigenous have taken to social media to express their disapproval with the move made by the People's Progressive Party Civic PPPC government to rename the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs to the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs. The former coalition government, taking stock of Guyana's first people preference of being labeled as indigenous, had named the ministry accordingly. Member of the Association of the Padawang Amok, or the Amerindian Peoples Association, Michael McGarren, in an interview with this newscast on Friday, reiterated that a vast majority of Guyana's indigenous population prefer to be referred to as indigenous. He even hinted that the Amerindian term in 2020 is discriminatory.
Amerindian is just a name that was given to us and saying, oh, you are Amerindians. But it doesn't take away from the fact that we are indigenous. And indigenous seemed, from the discussions to be the more correct term. Because yes, we are indigenous.
A petition even surfaced on social media with persons voting for the ministry representing their interests to be renamed Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs. McGarren called on the current administration to do what's best for the people they serve.
I looked at it and it bothers me that we can just be switching as we like, as we move on, and not really taking into consideration how people feel out there about it. I know that the Amerindian Act as well, there has been a revision which has started, and even in that act during the consultations, persons would have said that they prefer to be the Indigenous Peoples Act.
The APA has committed its willingness towards working with the current administration for the betterment of the country's indigenous populace. Meanwhile, when questioned as to why the organization still uses the mantle of the Amerindian Peoples Association if they take umbrage with being referred to as Amerindians, McGarren explained that there has been many moves to change the name.
And there was a decision made to change the name from Amerindian Peoples Association to the Association of Padawang Amok, still maintaining APA, but using indigenous language as well. However, I think the issue with us is that because it has to go through the process, we fall under the Friendly Society Act, so you have to change constitutions. So there has been a hold-up in terms of officially changing from Amerindian Peoples Association to something else.
Having served under the previous PPP government as Minister of Amerindian Affairs, on Wednesday, Pauline Tukai was reinstated to her former post. For the HGP Nightly News, Amel Griffith.